Welcome into our Countdown to First Pitch interview series. Today I'm visiting with Coach Kyle Lim of Arkansas-Monticello. And Coach, new world of video, so everybody gets to see everything going on as we do these interviews, but it is good to see you today.
It's unfortunate, man. Normally I can hide behind my telephone, so I actually had to, clean up stuff and get ready to go today. But good to talk to you, man. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, so hey, I want to go back a little bit as I've done with every coach. So we got to talk about March of 2020. You all had just got through playing Delta, I believe, and then ready for a conference series, but it never happened. Take us back through what it was like for you and your program and the school in general and just everything you were dealing with back in March when everything shut down.
It was a shock because I wasn't even on campus. I was actually down at a junior college, working, watching a practice, and was talking to Coach Fabian back and forth on the phone, honestly, about the upcoming series on the weekend because the weather was the concern. And then stuff started filtering out, and all I know is I'm driving back from where I was at and had to meet my team at 8 o'clock and tell them to go home. So it was kind of it was a bad deal, to be honest with you, man. You get a lot of time to say goodbye. Kids kind of in shock, just like everybody else was. And, one day I'm a coach, the next day I'm a stay-at-home dad because all my kids are at home. My two boys came home too, so it's been a challenge, to be honest with you. But our challenges compared to what the world's going through too. Small drop in the bucket. So we're doing the best we can, of course.
Yeah, it popped up on my Facebook memories the other day that we had canceled a basketball game about 3 years ago because of the weather this week. And I thought, boy, the days when you just had to cancel one game because of weather.
I tell you, it's been a challenge, and I know everybody's dealing with it in their own way. I know we dealt with it for the whole spring, football kind of for the fall, and of course with D1 college football and stuff. And I know basketball's doing it now. I mean, it's a challenge for all of us professionally, for sure.
So I've asked a lot of coaches, what did you do to pass the time? It sounds like you might have done some math and science and history homework.
I tell you what, I turned back. Before I got this gig, I was a middle school teacher for 7 years, so I kind of fell back into my roots a little bit. But I tell you what, the job our middle school teachers do, I tell you what, I don't even. I mean, we appreciate them, that's for sure. So yeah, I did a lot of stay-at-home dad stuff. Tried to get myself back in a right mind, get in shape, and that kind of stuff. So recruiting never stopped. So you're trying to, make sure that you're still doing what you can. Watched a lot of online video as far as recruiting and stuff goes, and tried to get ready for this year.
You've got a new assistant coach. Let's talk about her and what she brings to the table for your team.
I do. Cassie James. She come to us from McNeese, former JUCO All-American, former D1 softball player herself. Was a volunteer assistant at McNeese, so she brings a lot of experience and a different perspective as far as that goes. Works extremely hard. She works with our pitchers and our catchers. She definitely does a lot of mental training and stuff too with them. So it's been a good change for us too. It's just kind of a different mentality. We've had 3 assistants in 3 years, and not for, both of my assistants previously done a fantastic job. Both of them got fantastic jobs when they left here, so we feel blessed as far as that goes. And to find someone of caliber, Cassie does a good job for us to find someone willing to come in and work with our pitchers and brings the enthusiasm that she does. It's been a blessing for sure.
Well, and that includes you, right, as an assistant? Or
absolutely. Well, I guess so. It's kind
or could we say 4 in 4 years? I don't even know how long it's been now.
I tell you, it's I was an assistant here. This will be my 3rd year working into it, of course, during the interim year, so 3rd year total. So yeah, it's been a little bit. So
yeah. Well, Coach, let's talk about some of your returning players. I know that they are the ones that have kind of had to go through the trials of having their year cut short and then wondering if they would even get to play now. So tell us about some of the returning players, how they've grown, who you're expecting to make an impact for you.
We're blessed. We were able to bring 2 of our seniors back. Our 3rd senior pitcher decided she wanted to graduate. She's going to veterinary school, but I got our catcher back, Haley Godo. Can't say enough good things about her. She was hitting, low 3s last year, but she does a fantastic job behind the plate. I think she's got all conference type ability, to be honest with you. Just going to match it up this year. And our center fielder, Sierra Gasca, is back having those two kids back with definitely championship experience in the junior college realm, third year in our system too. Sierra provides a lot of leadership in the outfield for us. Has steadily gotten better at the plate, a little bit more dynamic. Obviously, she runs extremely well. So happy to have those two kids back. Kind of heart soul. Another heart soul of our team, Caroline Tedder, is going to be back. She's just a junior, going to play first base for us. Was leading our team in a lot of categories last year as far as offensively goes. We returned quite a bit. I mean, as far as our lineup goes, we're having to replace two players. Other than that, we feel pretty solid as far as offensively goes. As far as in the circle, it's kind of a new deal for us. We brought in, well, the only returning pitcher we have is Alexis Peavyhouse. She was a freshman for us last year, and then it's kind of a whole new staff. So Maddie Chandlenberg and Sam Stevens were both freshmen, and we have a transfer pitcher, Jamie Franks, that's going to be in the circle for us. So that's the kind of the new thing. We know exactly what Peavyhouse brings to the table. She's gotten steadily better throughout the fall, but we got to see a little bit last year in competition. The other parts are a little bit unknown. We've had a good fall, but it's a little bit different when you step in the circle in the spring. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
Well, Coach, that's actually what I was going to ask next about the fall. With the softball, obviously you can spread out a little bit more than other sports, but what was that like for y'all? What were the practices like, and was everything somewhat normal?
I think the ball was normal. Once you get them out there and start playing, unfortunately, our girls are herders, so it's always, hey, get away from each other. Make sure you got your mask up, that kind of stuff too. But our girls, our young ladies are having to sacrifice a bunch to get the season in. They understand what's at stake, so they're taking their precautions seriously. They're having to give, and it's not only ours; they're everywhere. They're having to give up a lot of what you would consider normal college life, a lot of the stuff that you would normally do, just to make sure that we're trying to stay as safe as possible. But they were awkward, to be honest with you. We didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do as far as, in the weight room and conditioning stuff, but we did the best we could. But I think we're in a good position right now to be in the position to play in the spring. So that's what was the benefit of it. So.
Well, and Coach, I know one thing that has to just be really, really tough, though, is no early season trip to Bentonville. We've got to talk about that and what that meant to Coach Early and to you and everybody else. I mean, the nation really, with the number of teams that would come in for that. So just talk about that and how difficult that's going to be.
Well, the biggest thing too, it's always on his birthday. So, that aspect of it, we are going to play. We're going to play over at Henderson this year. Bentonville, we couldn't work out and it was more on our end. The city of Bentonville has been fantastic to us for many years getting that tournament on. I think it was on our end, a lot of uncertainty as far as scheduling goes too. I think a lot of things are regionally based. And just honestly, if we couldn't put enough teams together to make it really work, we weren't going to disservice the tournament. So it's kind of a one-year hiatus for us. We're inviting everybody back next year. Hopefully, we've already made some plans with the city of Bentonville and even inside our own program to pump it a little bit and try to get back to that 28, 29 teams up there. Because it's a fantastic facility, fantastic venues up there to play in. A lot of good stuff with the kids. A lot of times too, the travel is not bad for a lot of the teams to come, as far as the MIAA and even our northern teams up there for us. So in the Northern Sun Conference.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty well. We're going to miss it, obviously, but at the same time, we know that it's just a temporary thing. We're going to be back and better next year, hopefully.
Well, like you said, I mean, if that's the sacrifice you have to make, it's probably okay.
Absolutely.
And I do want to ask you about some new players, because you probably have some new players coming in, and you can mention them by name or as a group or however you'd like to do. But what did you need when you brought new players in?
We were really looking for just some depth. We kind of had a middle infield issue, to be honest with you, and it wasn't because of we had two players decide to move on. One was from injury, and the other one's going to go to med school, so I can't fight her for that, obviously. So we were kind of having a little middle infield issue, but we brought in a transfer junior college player, Summer Perkins from Eastern Oklahoma, who has definitely stepped in and done a great job. One of our freshmen from Perryville, Bailey Camp, has stepped into the middle infield role, and she's got some special tools too. So looking for them two to fill in for us. Have another senior, Caitlin Stamper, that kind of dealt with a little elbow issue in the fall, who was our start second baseman last year. So she's just now getting her feet under, but she's doing a great job as well. Our freshmen are just they're competitive. Got couple outfielders. Madison Morrissey from North Little Rock is competing out in the outfield. Crystal Lanner from Texas is competing as an outfielder as well from Farmersville. And then Madison Gardner is filled in a role behind the plate for us, which was definitely a depth thing. We didn't think we were going to get Godo back, obviously, with the super senior. So we were expecting her to come in and play a significant role, and now she's getting to learn on the job. And she had a little nicked up injury in the fall, so it's been pretty good for her to learn as we go. So, but definitely, Maddie Chandlerberg in the circle is going to be big. We knew she was going to be big when we recruited her as far as her role would be this year, but kind of with some of the things that have happened, the numbers that we have, her role is going to be significant. So,
Coach, you mentioned getting to play in Arkadelphia, the McGee-Hawkins Invitationals, where you'll begin the year. So want to wish you best of luck this year, and thank you for the time. Good to visit with you again.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you, man.